Happy Halloween, everyone. I'm sick, but I can't afford to take a break. So we're making a video. But y'all seem to like that Speedy video where I talked about a character trying to be speedy, so I figure let's do kind of a similar thing and talk about a character I've actually played in a real Dungeons and Dragons game, specifically to fit the spooky theme and my spooky shirt, a Necromancer. A lawful good Necromancer.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Before we get started on that, like, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. Patreon, that's the place where you can support the channel. Check out the Magic the Gathering channel, where we do a bunch of decks for cards that either don't exist or do exist and people forget they exist because they're not very popular. So this character started off because our DM dumped out a bunch of minifigures on a table and said, hey, pick one of these and make a character based off of it. The character would be level 9, and that was kind of all of the guidance they gave, which was perfect for me. I saw a little dog token that was a skeleton dog, and I thought, okay, that's what I'll do. I don't think he thought anyone was going to grab that one. I'm pretty sure they were expecting people to grab the humanoids, but I like a challenge. Dog, not a real race in D&D. We just reskinned a halfling, specifically a stout halfling, because I wanted more HP, because we're taking some wizard levels. And that was the basis of Multiclassing Bonesington.
Okay, I'm not the best at making up names.
A while back I did a video ranking different classes you could multi-class with Barbarian, and Wizard was bad with one exception, and that exception is Necromancer, because Necromancy doesn't require concentration to maintain your skeletons. And you can pair that with the Wolf Totem Barbarian, which gives friendly creatures attacking within 5 feet of you advantage on their attacks. Hypothetically, you make an army of skeletons and then run in with the skeletons, give all of those skeletons advantage on their attack, and you do some serious damage that way. And I thought this is a great opportunity to do that. Something else that helps is because I was a halfling, I could move through the spaces of larger creatures than me. Skeletons are medium creatures. A halfling is a small creature, which let me kind of move in and out of my bony brigade.
Let me just go right past you.
Now, all of that's good, well, and fine, but I think when you do something like this where you build a character for an end, you know, I'm building this character to be level 9, you got to think about the character's life before then. How do they get to level 9? Think about like daily routine type stuff instead of just what do they do when they fight? How do they fight? How do they fight? So, Multiclassing Bonesington needs a backstory. I decided to make him a graveyard dog, hangs around a graveyard, keeps people away. The gravekeeper there was a druid who cast Awaken on his little doggy companion, so now my doggy has an intelligence score of 10. Common characters just start with 10 across the board, and then you get better at some things, you get worse at some things. So I decided my doggy was going to hit the books, learn all about magic, so that he could be a better funeral director assistant. Grabbing spells like Mold Earth, which can move 5 feet of ground up and out, is a very fast way for a dog to dig a grave. Levitate is a spell that helps them be a pallbearer and help carry the coffin that would be so heavy when they are, you know, a tiny dog. I think we decided he was a pug, so, you know, he's not going to be lifting all that heavy stuff, but with Levitate, he could. He did have 13 strength, because that's a multi-classing minimum, and I still follow the rules. Now, eventually, this druid did not have that ageless body. They weren't like a level 20 druid, so eventually, they died. So sad. And now, Multiclassing Bonesington is in charge of the cemetery, and he is the gravekeeper, but his former partner, Pal, was buried in the cemetery, and this is where we add in some Pixar-style shenanigans to try and make everyone at the table cry. Because what I did was I had Multiclassing learn Speak with the Dead, and then every night, if he had his 3rd level spell slots available, he would Mold Earth on his former partner's grave and cast Speak with Dead, and talk to his owner and ask 6 questions, you know, just see how he's doing, and curl up by his toes, curl up by those bony little toes, and sleep there, because that's where he's comfortable, because he still loves his pal, his papa. Now, you can only use this on the same corpse every 10 days. What do you do with the other 9? That's where Lawful good comes in. A lot of times, the primary breadwinner will die, and then the family doesn't know what to do. And so what Multiclassing would offer these families is a conscription of their departed family member to join on mercenary endeavors.
You must allow me to pay you now so that I may own your carcass.
Specifically, he would get the loved ones of the family to sign a waiver that said, yes, we are okay with you using our loved ones' bones for whatever mercenary work you do. Now, of course, Mutzli is lawful good, so that also meant that these endeavors were fighting the monarchy, doing good stuff, helping people out, do good things with the skeletons. He wasn't like raiding villages or doing anything spooky like that. That was also in there, there was like clauses. He did a bunch of legal stuff because he's high intelligence, so he's able to, make a nice little thing. Oh, Mage Hand, another important spell so that he has something he can write with, because otherwise, paws can't really grab stuff. Our adventure actually starts when there is a new queen who takes over the nation we were in and is kind of targeting this town for some bullcrap. Some bullcrap monarchy. Oh, I want to control everything because monarchy is one step removed from fascism. One of the things she wanted to do was tear out a bunch of graves and put in a big mausoleum, displacing the graves of a bunch of common folk. So Mutzli joins a resistance group, and the resistance group is planning to overthrow the queen through violence. It's D&D after all. So everybody comes in, and they all come up with a plan, and then our DM says, you have 4 days to prepare.
You've made a huge mistake.
How Animate Dead works normally is you raise a pile of bones. The pile of bones works for you for 24 hours, and you can also cast Animate Dead to reassert your control of up to 4 skeletons. That helps necromancers build up an army, because otherwise skeletons would be very, very weak creatures. But if you're a necromancer and you hit the 6th level of necromancer, you can target an additional skeleton or corpse with your Animate Dead spell. And also they get temporary HP equal to your wizard level, and they can add your proficiency bonus to the damage rolls. So not only can you get more skeletons, you can also buff up the skeletons. If you have 3 3rd level spell slots and 4 days to prepare, that means day 1 you can cast Animate Dead 3 times and get 6 skeletons. And then the next day, you can cast Animate Dead twice to maintain control of those 6 skeletons. And then the next day, you can cast Animate Dead to maintain control of 5 of those skeletons, and then cast it 2 more times to get 4 more skeletons for 9. And then you repeat this, and you repeat this, and you repeat this, and you have a lot of skeletons, basically. So I had a veritable army of skeletons with me, and with 3 levels of Barbarian and the Wolf Totem, that gave all of them advantage on their attack rolls. This wasn't a power building thing. I wasn't trying to trick Jay. This is a role-playing thing. But knowing what your character can do in a role-playing scenario can also help you do things that are broken in a combat scenario.
It was also the night that the skeletons came to life!
You've got 16 attack rolls being rolled that could critically hit because you have advantage on all of those attacks. What happened in combat was basically just a flood of skeletons and a critical hit at least once around. We added like 161 hit points to our side of the battlefield by having all those skeletons, or something around there. I'm not checking the math in front of me. So all that gets done. We take out the queen, and then the leader of the resistance movement says, hey, we got to figure out a new form of government. And what they wanted to do was basically become the new king.
Not on my watch!
And we negotiated amongst the players, and we came up with an elected body for this little town. And the first elected body will just be our party. But here's where Mutzli got tricky with it. Mutzli argued, hey, when you're drafting this constitution, you cannot say the people present will form the first Congress. I am a dog, and I could legally be counted as not that. So you need to put creatures. Creatures present at this event all get a vote in the first Congress, Constitution, Parliament, whatever we called it.
Ain't no rules in the dog kept.
Serve in Congress. And everyone was like, okay, yeah, that's fair. We don't want to screw Mutzli out of this. But did you know skeletons are creatures? And I had 8 skeletons with me by the end of the fight that didn't die. So I effectively walked into that Congress with 9 of the 16 votes. And that might seem unlawful, but Mutzli would only use it for democracy and to push pro-democratic, probably pro-socialist agenda, because I inflict that on all of my characters and they will all be based. If I am to summarize the events of Mutzli Bonesington, I would just want you to know that there are no classes or subclasses that have to be evil, that have to be good. It's all about good roleplay. And you should find a character that does some interesting stuff, and you can eventually, pair Barbarian and Wizard together, and it'll be broken. in a Barbrarian kind of way. Yes, my name has an extra R. You are legally obligated to comment if this is where you learned that my name has an extra R in Barbrarian. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We'll be doing more videos like this. I'll just talk about characters that I built and tell their stories. I think that's interesting. I hope you think it's interesting. Bye!